The city plaza was loud that afternoon. Street performers played guitars. Children chased pigeons across the warm pavement. Tourists lined up at the food carts. But on the far edge of the square, near a cracked fountain, sat a man most people tried not to notice. His name was Daniel. Daniel was homeless. Beside him sat a scruffy brown dog wearing a faded vest that read, "Service dog." The truth, the vest wasn't real. Daniel had found it months ago in a donation bin. He didn't train the dog. The dog had simply followed him one night during a winter storm. The stray refused to leave. Daniel named him Rusty. And the vest, well, the vest helped people leave them alone. Sometimes it helped Daniel enter places that normally chased homeless people away. But most days, people simply stared with quiet judgment. Fake, some whispered. Daniel heard them. But Rusty didn't care. Rusty only cared about Daniel. One afternoon, the plaza was busier than usual. A little girl named Emma ran ahead of her mother toward the fountain. She was laughing. Her red balloon bounced behind her, but suddenly, Emma stopped. Her smile vanished. Her small body swayed. Then she collapsed onto the pavement. At first, nobody noticed. People thought she had simply tripped, but Rusty noticed. The dog's ears snapped upright, jumped to his feet. Then he began barking, loud, urgent, sharp. Daniel frowned. "Rusty, what is it?" But Rusty wasn't looking at Daniel. He was staring at the little girl on the ground. Rusty pulled hard against his leash. Then he bolted. The vest flapped as he ran. People turned as the barking grew louder. Rusty reached the child first. He circled her frantically, whining and barking. Now others noticed. The girl's mother screamed, "Emma!" She rushed forward. The child wasn't responding. Her breathing was shallow. Panic spread through the crowd. Phones came out. Someone shouted, "Call an ambulance." But Rusty wasn't done. He pushed his nose against Emma's face. Then he pawed gently at her chest, barking again, over and over. Daniel arrived moments later, breathless. He knelt beside the girl. Years ago, before life fell apart, Daniel had been a construction supervisor, a job that required first aid training. Something about the girl's breathing felt wrong. He turned her gently, checked her pulse. "Weak, very weak. Give her space," Daniel shouted. The crowd stepped back. Daniel began CPR, 30 compressions, 2 breaths. Rusty stayed beside him, whining softly. Seconds felt like hours. Then suddenly, Emma gasped. Her chest lifted sharply. Air rushed into her lungs. The crowd erupted with relief. Moments later, sirens echoed across the plaza. Paramedics rushed in and took over. As they loaded Emma into the ambulance, one medic turned to Daniel. "You saved her?" Daniel shook his head. He looked at Rusty. "No," he said softly. He did. The next day, the story spread across the city. Witnesses posted videos online. News reporters came to the plaza. They wanted to know about the homeless man and the fake service dog who saved a life. A veterinarian volunteered to check Rusty. A trainer offered free training. A local shelter offered Daniel temporary housing. But the biggest moment came a week later. Emma returned to the plaza with her mother. The little girl ran straight toward Daniel. Then she hugged Rusty. "Thank you for saving me," she whispered into his fur. Rusty wagged his tail so hard he nearly fell over. Daniel smiled. For the first time in years, he didn't feel invisible anymore. Because sometimes the world labels things as fake, but the truth is, loyalty doesn't need a certificate, and heroism doesn't wear a badge. Sometimes it just wears a worn-out vest.